Hi and welcome to our webinar today about provisioning in SharePoint 2019. About my person, my name is Christian Groß. I'm the CEO of Solutions to Share in Germany. I work with SharePoint around about 11 years now, and I'm the owner of the company, and I designed the first version of the collaboration manager for SharePoint 2010, 8 years ago right now. And today I want to show you how you can provision modern and classic sites in SharePoint 2019. And let's start first with some organizational things. First is the webinar. We record the webinar for you, and we will send it to you tomorrow with a link. And if you want, you can rewatch the webinar, or you can download the webinar as a movie file. On the right side, we have a chat. So if you have any questions, just write it into the chat, and I will answer all your questions in the end of the webinar. And if there is not enough time, I will answer your questions via email address, and you get an answer later. On the right side, we have a poll, a survey, so you can just enter if you use 2019 right now or not. So we have a better feeling how much customers use SharePoint 2019 right now, or if you are planning using SharePoint 2019. In the end of the webinar, there is a PowerPoint slide with all my contact details. So if you have any questions, you can write me an email, or you can call me, and we can discuss all questions tomorrow or to the end of the week. First, I want to present you some details about my company. The company name is Solutions to Share. Solutions to Share is Microsoft Gold partner since 2 or 3 years. And of course, we have a programming certification. So all our products are certified with a RANCOR development best practices certifications. So you get best quality of our coding solutions. The company has 15 employees, is founded in 2011, and with all our products, the meeting manager, the collaboration manager for Office 365, multiple documents, news ticker, and a lot of other products, we have over 15,000 installations worldwide. And of course, because we started with cloud programming in 2014, we are experts in all kind of programming with Office 365, Teams, modern classic sites, and of course SharePoint 2019, 16, 13, and 2010. So what is the collaboration manager, or how can you provision sites in SharePoint 2019? In SharePoint 2010, so around about 2019, we developed a tool. It's called Collaboration Manager, which provides you some functionalities for creating templates in SharePoint and provision team sites out of the templates. Of course, we add some governance functionalities, and during the years, we developed a lot of web parts for better productivity in your collaboration environment. For example, in the provisioning part, you can provision modern and classic sites. We provision all the structure and the content, so 100% of the template. We support third-party vendors with our REST APIs and web service APIs, and you need no code, no PowerShell script, or no scripting at all. The templating is really easy. I show you everything in the demo part. So you can create modern and classic site templates by creating new sites, configure it with SharePoint standard functionality, and save it only with one click. So there is no coding, no site definitions, no SDP files, only configuring, saving, and provisioning. And The governance is growing a lot in our product. So we have a user and group management in a list. So you see every time who is the owner of the site or of all sites, who are the members, and we have an approval request, for example, for sites. We have some custom request forms, and you can create as many workflows on our lists to manage all the sites and all the templates as you want. And if you have an existing environment in SharePoint 2016 or 2019 right now, we have a functionality to import all your sites and all your templates in our software solution. And from there, you can provision your new sites or classic sites. For the productivity part, actually, we have a wizard web part. We have some cool web parts to have a good view on your team sites. We have web parts for recent documents, open tasks, upcoming events, team site information, and team site structure. But today we don't have so much time to get into all that web parts. I want to show you today how you can create a template and provision a site out of it. If you need more or further information about all the other functionalities, please contact me and we can have a deep dive webinar around about 2 hours, and I can show you all the functionality of our tool, the Collaboration Manager. What is special for our tool? So the Collaboration Manager is not only a solution for one platform, for example, SharePoint 2019. The Collaboration Manager is a software solution which provides provisioning and templating for all platforms which exist in the actual Microsoft environment. So we started SharePoint 2010. If you want to use it right now, you need a special support contract with us, but it works like in SharePoint 2013, 2016, and 2019. If you have, for example, SharePoint Online, you can use our Collaboration Manager 365, especially for Office 365 and SharePoint Online. We can create Office 365 groups, and we added Microsoft Teams last year. So if you want to provision Teams, groups, modern or classic sites, or you want to set up a hybrid environment, we have one solution to solve all this kind of provisioning things. So you only need one solution for on-premises and online. So that is my PowerPoint slide. I have 2 or 3 slides more in the end. And I want to switch in my demo environment and have a look how it works in the SharePoint 2019 environment. So I hope you see now my screen. And yeah, let's start with a demonstration. You can see we are in a SharePoint 2019 environment, and the Collaboration Manager is here installed in a site. You can choose in which site you want to install the Collaboration Manager at the installation process. And if you want to have multiple instances, you can install the Collaboration Manager in more site collections if you want. If you install the Collaboration Manager in your site, and we have a look on the site contents, you see the Collaboration Manager provides a templates library and a workspaces list. And with these 2 lists, we work to creating templates and workspaces. On the navigation, in the left side navigation, you see here we have a link to the templates library and to the workspaces list. If a user wants to request a team site, you can create a button in your intranet or in your collaboration portal, or you use here a list form based on the workspaces list. But for today, we start on with creating a template, because I want to present you the product as from an admin view. First, we have to create a template, we have to save the template, and then we want to provision a site out of that template. So let's switch to the admin part now and start with creating a template first. So you see here we have a couple of templates here, like standard project, meeting project. We have a modern site template, but for this demo, I want to create a new template. So we use that create template button. And the first thing which we see here, first we have to decide if we want to create a classic site template or a modern site template. For the webinar here, I choose the modern site because all is about modern sites in SharePoint Online, and of course the users want to use modern sites in SharePoint 2019 too. So we can say webinar template for today. Set a description, a quota, and here is some special thing. We created an API for our product. So if you want to use, for example, Nintex workflow in your environment and you want to create workflows in the template, we have a special API which connected to our product, and you can save all the Nintex workflows in our template file, and we can provision and update all the sites with new workflows or new versions of workflows. So if you have some special codes in your existing environment, and it's not based on standard programming, you only have to add a small code snippet to our tool. Everything is well documented, and you can provision this as well. So for this, we want to have the basic module, the site collection admin module. We have a name, we have a template type and a description, and we say, okay, let's create a template. The template creation takes some time because now we create a new site collection based on a blank site, which is used as a template designer. So in our tool, we have two elements for templating. One is here, for example, for the large project template, we have a template URL. This is a place where you can configure your site. You can add some lists, some libraries, some tasks lists. You can modify the start page. And when you are ready with your modifications of the site, you select the template you want to save it, and all the modifications are saved in the template file. So a template, for example, for large project has two items, a template file, and a template site. So while the template is creating, we can open another tab in the browser and have a look how it works when the template is created. Okay, it's already done right now, so we are lucky. The SharePoint 2019 environment is quite fast. So for creating a template, we use this URL here. And let's make some modifications. For example, we want to remove some elements here and say, okay, we publish that site. We can add some new document libraries to the site. And so creating a template is building SharePoint. So every user who can create sites in SharePoint can create templates as well, because creating a site template is just building a site. So for this demo, I added a document library and I added a task list. And yeah, I modified the start page, and let's say, okay, we are now ready with the modifications of the site. Of course, you can create a lot of more things. You can create more pages, list items, list elements. You can add some columns to the site or to the document libraries and to the list. You can create some custom columns. But for the demonstration, the webinar, we don't have enough time to create a very complex site. So let's see if everything works fine, and if we have time in the end, we can build some other structures. So, okay, we want to save now the site in a version 2. So we select the template here in the templates library, go to collaboration manager tab and say save selected template. And now the collaboration manager identify all the changes in the site and save all the modification information in this file. And that takes 1 to 2 minutes, I think. And if we are ready with the saving process, we can download the file here from the document library. And if we want, we can transport the template to another server, for example, from a Q&A environment to a productive environment. So if we have a really big environment, we can create new templates in our Q&A environment. And when everything is tested and everything is ready, we only have to pick the file, so download the file and upload the file in the productive environment, and all the template information are transported to another server. So let's see how it works here. Okay, perfect. So the next thing is we go to the Workspaces library. In the Workspaces lists all our requests, our site requests, and all sites are stored. So when we want to request a new site with a workflow, in my environment here is a demonstration environment. I don't have an approval process on the list item. So if I create an item, the site is automatically provisioned. And let's see how that works. Now I want to create a site based on the new template. So let's see if the content type is already there. So it's not, so I have to add it. So for every template I create on the templates library, a new content type is created on the Workspaces list. And if I want to create a site based on that webinar template for today template, I have to add the content type to the Workspaces list. So let's select the content type first and say, oh no, the change new button or default content type, and say, okay, I want to say the webinar template for today is visible, and say perfect, okay. And now I can create a site based on that template. So let's see if it works. We go to webinar template for today, and now we have a request or creation form. It's based on a normal list, but it's very simple. So title, description, and template version, that are the three informations we have to give our tool, the collaboration manager, that the tool can create a site. So let's see how it works. So I enter a title and a description and say okay. And if we are now in a productive environment, for example, we want to create a template for projects, of course, we have a project site request form, which is not so easy like this. So when we want to modify the request form, we only have to modify the content type and have to add some columns to the content type which we want to have in the form. So let's see how that works. That is really easy. We go to the Workspaces list, and if you know SharePoint quite good, you know exactly, you only have to go to the content type and say, I want to add some lists and list columns. And for example, we can add a manager column, a member column, a cost center, which is already created. And let's see what else. I think that is okay, and say okay. And now when we go back to the request form, we see here our request form now is a little bit different. We have the title, the description, the template version, the manager, the members, and the cost center. The manager and the members columns are special columns from our solution. they are provided to connect a user field to a SharePoint group. So if we go back to our template and add a manager SharePoint group and a members group, all the users which we add here in the user fields are directly provisioned to the site. And if you add some extra users in the provisioned site, all the information, so all the users are synchronized to the workspaces list. So all in all, you always have a list of all your sites with the members and the owners and visitors and other SharePoint groups you want to create. So, okay, so you see the site provisioning process is quite fast in SharePoint 2019. We created a template in some minutes, and we provisioned the first site out of the template, and let's see if it works, if the modification works and if the saving process was successful. You see the saving process was really fast in 5 minutes ago, and you see here the modification of the site here is also modified in the new site. And if we go to the site contents, we see we have a task list here and our doclib1 list. So, and that is how it works with the collaboration manager, how you can create templates and how you can provision site out of that template. And if you want to create more sites, for example, hundreds of sites, you can add it via a PowerShell script in the workspaces list, or you add it with a quick edit view. That is possible because in the backend, the collaboration manager has a service application, and the service application has a list of jobs, and you can add as many jobs as you want. So normally, the template creation process is not so easy in your company because the customers in your company, so the users, they don't know exactly what they want. So a good idea is to ask them what they want, but normally they forget some things or they change their minds and they say, okay, can I modify my template and can I modify the existing sites of the templates? And the answer normally is no if you don't have a tool like the collaboration manager, because you have to go manually to hundreds of sites and add a list or add a column, and that takes a lot of time, and of course it costs a lot of money. If you want to modify your template with our tool, the collaboration manager, it's very, very easy. You go back to the templates library and select the template you want to modify. For example, the template we created together 10 minutes ago. And here we can say, okay, let's change the start page again and say, okay, I forgot a web part here and I want to add a task web part or a text. And we can say, okay, here we forgot this text in the page. Perfect. And we can say here, okay, let's change it to this kind of style and add a web part here as well. And let's publish the site. So, and let's change the quick navigation. For example, let's delete that OneNote and say okay. And in the document library, we forgot a column, so we add a column in the document library view. For example, we add a line of text. We forgot text column, and say save. So, and now we have we go back to the templates library and say, okay, now we want to save the template in the next version. So we select the template, go here and say save again. And now the collaboration manager saves the template again, and we create, for every saving process, we create a version in the version history. So we know exactly what we changed from version 2 to version 3 to version 4 to version 5. Let's have a look how that looks in SharePoint 2019. And because we know exactly what we changed in our template, we can add these kind of changes to all the sites we created before. So the next step is that I go to the workspaces list and select the workspace, and I want to synchronize all the changes from the template to my existing site. But let's wait some seconds till the saving process is finished. I hope it's finished now. And we do that what I described a minute before. So I select the workspace or the site I created and say here in the collaboration manager, sync selected workspace. Of course, you can synchronize not only one site or workspace, you can synchronize hundreds or thousands workspaces at the same time. It's not that it's finished in 5 minutes if you synchronize 1000, but we have a queue and we added 1000 synchronized jobs, and the collaboration manager will process all the modification jobs in a row. So I think 1000 sites, it's around about 6 to 8 hours, depends how complex your template is and how big it is, if you have a lot of content in the template, or do you have a lot of list items. So, and that will take some seconds. You see here on the status, it's in the synchronizing status, and now the collaboration manager looks how is the site. So the collaboration manager looks if the site has all the modifications, yes or no, if there are some conflicts, and then the collaboration manager adds the new column, modify the start page, and modify the quick navigation. And if you want to automate that process, we have an API in the backend. So for example, you can use SharePoint Designer or Nintex or K2 to create some automation processes. Some of our customers, they add a workflow to the templates library, and every time when someone saves the template, a process is started which asks every site owner if he wants to synchronize his site to the newest version. And but it depends on your needs. So you can say, for example, you select the template and say, okay, synchronize all the sites based on that template. That is possible too, for example. So it depends what you want to have. If you don't want to have the synchronization, or for example, you want a workflow on each list item you want to synchronize and you want that the site owner accept it, everything is possible and really easy, because the collaboration manager is based on 2 SharePoint lists, and you can use every workflow tool or every tool in the market to create processes based on these 2 lists. So when the synchronization process is finished, we can have a look into the site. I started another synchronization process, but yeah, it looks very good. So all our modifications here are synchronized to the site. I know that is a really a simple example. Normally the templates are very complex and the changes are not that easy right in that demonstration. But if you want to try it with complex templates, just give me a call and we can import your template on your productive or Q&A environment, and we can test if it works on your requirements as well. So you see on the left side, the OneNote, the notebook is the notebook link is deleted. You see here that the web part is added and the text is here. And let's have a look on the document library if everything works fine. Here we have the forgot text column. So every modification we made in the template is synchronized to the site with just one mouse click. And I think that is a really, really cool functionality, because if you have such requests from your business and they say, okay, I forgot a column in my document library, and now you have to add the column to hundreds or thousands of sites in your organizations, that is quite a really long job to do. So let's go back to the portal and have a look if everything is quite ready. Okay, the second synchronization job is ready too. And let's have a look at what else we have as a functionality. So here we have a collaboration manager tab. For example, you can delete the workspaces from that list if you have site collection administration rights. So not only the list item is deleted, the site is deleted. You can change the quota. You can add some special fields, for example, locking the workspace. You can add some user fields to synchronize it with a SharePoint group. You can archive this site, but we only support archiving to 2 gigabytes, and of course you can restore it. And if you have an existing environment with hundreds or thousands of sites, you can first go to the templates library, go to the collaboration manager ribbon, import a template. So first you need a blank site from your environment, which looks like the sites you want to import. You import a template, and the second step is you can import all your sites with that button. If you have hundreds of sites, it's not good to use this dialog. You can use a PowerShell script which we provide you, or you can use the quick edit view and you can add all your existing sites to our tool. And if you select a template, you can use the synchronization functionality to your existing sites which are imported from our tool. So that is really good functionality, because you can modify your existing environment as well. So let's have let's have a look on the central administration. So how it is installed, how easy you can install it in your environment. So first you need two things. First thing is you need the solutions to share license management. That is a farm solution you have to install on your environment, and you see here all our products. And for example, for our collaboration manager, we have an add-on for an Nintex. And if you install the tool, you automatically get a 30-day trial. And if you need more time for testing or a productive license, you can add it to the license center here. Just copy and paste and validate it, and you can go on with your environment. And for the collaboration manager configuration, you have on the left side in the central navigation a quick link, and here you can configure all your settings. An interesting thing is that if you have a very big environment, we can load balance our synchronization jobs and our creation jobs to multiple servers. So in this environment, of course, it's a demo environment, we only have one server. But if you have 4, 10, or 20 servers, you can say, okay, I want to start the collaboration manager service on 4 backend servers. And then if you start a synchronization process with more than 1,000 or 10,000 sites, our service will load balance all the jobs to all the servers, and we will we can synchronize all the sites 4 times faster, because we not only have one server, we have 4, 6, or 10 servers for synchronizations. But of course, that is a big deal for enterprises. If you only have a 2-server environment, the solution works as well. You have one application server, one web frontend server, and I think it would be a good idea to start our collaboration manager service on the backend server. So next thing is we have some global settings which you can set up. We have a temporary directory for all our log files. We have a functionality if you have if there is an app update from Microsoft which is not quite well, you can say, okay, I want to continue with errors. Sometimes we need that in the past, but normally it's on disabled. And you can say where is your secure store service keys are stored, and you can define the names. And the last interesting thing is web application settings. So we have a functionality, for example, for automatically database creation. So we help you to get your SharePoint environment faster. So we create automatically content databases, and we calculate automatically the size of the sites in the content databases. And if someone deletes a site, or the site is outdated or expired and it is deleted automatically, new sites will create it in the content database, because there is a free place, and we manage all the content databases for you. If you don't want to use it, you just have to say, okay, disable database creation, and you can manage it by your own. Okay, so the solution, so the install of the solution is very easy. You need a farm solution for the license management, one farm solution for the collaboration manager, and then you can go on. If you are in an environment and you are not allowed to install farm solutions, or you don't want to install farm solutions in the future, we have another app. It's called the Collaboration Manager 365. It's a solution for SharePoint Online, but it works in SharePoint on-premises too. So if you don't want to use farm solutions in your environment, we can provide you the same functionality without the database functionality, because it's not possible from Microsoft as a provider-hosted app. So we can provide you this solution as a provider-hosted app or as a farm solution with the same functionality. So let's go back to the PowerPoint presentation, and then we will continue with your questions. So I think I showed you a lot of features and how you can use it, and perhaps you saw how easy it is and how it can help you in your environment. But normally a tool like this, it will save you money, because we provide regular updates. If there is another SharePoint version like SharePoint 2021 or 2022, we will give you a new version of the Collaboration Manager, and we did that for SharePoint 2013, 2016, and 2019. So you don't need to reprogram your provisioning solution every 3 years. So we have regular updates. We migrate to a new SharePoint version. And if you saw it like this, I showed you how to start with that solution in around about a day. And of course, that is only a demonstration, but you can really start quick, like 1 or 2 days. And I show you what is a normal plan to implement it in your environment. So you don't have an application lifecycle management. If you use the normal way, like programming site definitions or making a PowerShell script or things like that, you first have to program that with a development team, then you have to test it, and then you have to deploy it to the productive system. And that needs a lot of time. So you have a lot of, you spend a lot of time on the development process, on the Q&A process, and on the deployment process. And with our tool, you have to install it. You can click or configure your site, and in around about an hour, you are ready to go if your template is very small. So, and of course, the acceptance of the solution is better than if you develop it. If there is some little changes like a column or like a modification in the quick navigation, the coding process is really, really long. And with our tool, it's around about 5 minutes to get the changes in your productive environment. And if you start with your SharePoint 2019 project right now, or if you want to integrate it, we have an implementation timeline. So normally we are ready in 2 weeks. If you start from the scratch, you don't need the existing site integration. So we have a small workshop. We identify what you want to do. We define the configurations we have to do in the installation. Then we have to install the tool, build the templates in 2 days, for example, make a quality test if everything is configured on the right way, and check if the template is configured good, if the provisioning process works well, and then we go in a short admin training, and of course we make some small documentation for your IT if you need if you want to document it for other IT admins or for your users. So, and of course, we do that now around about 8 years, and we have a lot of customers in SharePoint on premises. I think it's now around about 200 installations worldwide of the Collaboration Manager on premises, not online. In online, we have a lot of more installations because it's very, very easy to start. If you want to have a provisioning solution in SharePoint Online, you need around about 1 hour for installation, creating a template, and provision your first site, team, or group. If you want to have some talks with our customer, that is no problem. Just give me a short call, and we connect you to our customers. So this is the end of my demonstration of the webinar. That is the last PowerPoint. My contact details. If you want to write me an email, my email is christian.groß@solutionstoshare.net, or send it to info@solutionstoshare.net. And if you want to call me, that is my phone number here. And the easiest way, of course, is give me a call, and I think we discuss how we can help you with the provisioning in your SharePoint environment. So, and if you have any questions, you can write it down in the chat, and I try to answer it here live right now. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the webinar till this point, and I have a look on the questions now, and I try to answer it if I can. So one question is about the pricing of the tool. So the Collaboration Manager is licensed on web front-end servers. So for one web front-end server in the standard edition, which we saw today, so all functionality I show today is in the standard edition, is around about 12,000 euros per web front-end server. And if you want to have more functionality in the enterprise edition, it's around about 17,000 euro per web front-end server. And with a software subscription with 20% of the license price, you have support, you have software assurance, and all the test licenses for your Q&A and development farm. Okay, so the next question is it working in a hybrid model? So I showed the PowerPoint presentation on the beginning of the webinar, and we have the Collaboration Manager 365 for online, and we have the Collaboration Manager for on-premises. They both are based on a Workspaces list. And if you want to synchronize the Workspaces list, we have another tool where we can synchronize the Workspaces teams and groups between the lists. And so you can create a hybrid model very easy without some special configurations. I think we only need 2 to 3 days to create a hybrid environment with SharePoint Online groups, teams, and SharePoint on-premises 2016 and of course 2019. Okay, another question is it possible to create classic templates as well? So we started in SharePoint 2010 with SharePoint Classic sites, or in 2013. And of course, you can create a template based on a classic site. You can use publishing features, variation, multi-language. So all the stuff you can create custom workflows, info pass formulars. So we come from SharePoint 2010 with classic sites. So all the classic site functionalities are supported. Modern sites is quite new, but there are not so many functionalities. Okay. Another question is, can I use custom web parts in the templates? I don't know which kind of web parts. So if you program some normal web parts as a farm solution and you publish them as a feature in your classic site, the collaboration manager can transport all that information too, but it must be programmed in a Microsoft way, which you find in the Microsoft MSDN. If you mean the Microsoft SPFX web parts, or the modern web parts, so that is possible too. You have to publish your web part in the app catalog, and you can use your custom web parts in the modern pages. But normally, we have to discuss this first. So we don't support custom tools from the scratch, but we have a special support plan where we can help you to create some custom tools based on the collaboration manager, and a lot of customers do that. Another question is, do you support third-party tools like Nintex Forms? Yes, we do that. Since last year, we have a new module. It's called the Nintex Forms module. You can license it like the Nintex workflow module, and you can create Nintex forms in the template and publish it to the sites. And of course, if you make some modifications in the template, we will synchronize all the modifications to the existing sites. So we have for Nintex forms and for Nintex workflows. There is another question based on that, and it's settings. How I understand that from my developers is that we use the Nintex API to store all the settings on all the information in our template file, and then we can restore it in the new site, or unpack it. So I think it works with the settings too. For all our products or add-ons, we have a 30-day trial, and feel free to try it and to try if your Nintex form can publish to the new sites. I think I will call you and we can discuss this later. So I think Nintex form works well, and Nintex workflow too. So let's see if some other questions here right now. Okay, so it seems that there are no other questions. If you have a question right now, then type it, and I will wait 1 minute more or 2 minutes. And if there are no other questions, I will end the webinar and say thank you. So let's have a look if some questions are going in. Okay, seems like there are no other questions. So from my side, I can say thank you for attending the webinar. I'm very proud that so many people are joining today to the webinar, and we will have some other webinars in the future. For example, for Teams provisioning, we are building on a new product. And if you are interested to try what you see today, so contact me or go to our website, solutionstoshare.net or .com, and you can request a trial, fill the form, and we will send you an email with all the documentation and the files, and you can try it by yourself. And if you don't want to try it alone, you can write us an email or call us, and we help you with the installation on your development or Q&A farm. So let's have a look to the chat. So there are no questions, and I say thank you for watching, and I hope you join my next webinar in 2 weeks or 4 weeks, I don't know exactly, and have a nice day. Bye.